State House is spending 123 million on food for one holiday.
Niko serious.
So the State House Comptroller, Kato Olemetito, yesterday appeared before Parliament and said that State House spends 123 million shillings on food for each of the 3 national holidays, that is Madaraka Day, Mashujaa Day and Jamhuri Day, each.
Where?
That means in 1 year, wanatumia 369 million kwa chakula pekee. Yani,
what is going on here?
Anyway, so you might ask, how many people attend these events? A minimum of 4,500 people. So yani, for 4,500 people, they are spending 27,000 shillings per person. But even if you calculate generously, tuseme 5,000 shillings per person for decent catering, that's only 22.5 million shillings. Lakini hapa, wanatumia 123 million shillings. Ay!
Tumeshangaa sana. Haki ya Mungu ni mambo gani?
And do you know what 123 million shillings can do? Building one classroom in Kenya needs about 800,000 shillings. So for 123 million shillings, it can build 153 classrooms. In a year, that money yenye wanatumia kwa chakula, that could build 461 classrooms. And it's just on food. We have not even talked about the other expenses. State House and the Office of the DP have already exceeded their budget this year. I did a whole video about that. You can check it out on the timeline. Additionally, lawyer Len Kumpai went to court to stop the Gava from using public money to organize a national prayer breakfast meeting in a 5-star hotel. Sijui mbona national prayer kwanza inaholdiwa in a 5-star hotel. Na ni national prayer breakfast. He asked the court to order them to disclose how much they spent on last year's prayer breakfast meeting. I'm saying all this to show you that there are a lot of expenses that we do not know about. And while this is all happening, people are dying of hunger, hakuna madawa kwa hospitali, and yet watu wanatumia 123 million in one day. Sio bashi koste tu yani, to save your dough. Anyway, give me your thoughts hapo kwa comments. Na mimi situmii pesa yako vibaya, sinaomba tu follow. Na ushare hii video ndio watu wajue mambo inaendelea kwa nchi yao.
I personally and I honestly have no emotional or mental bandwidth to stand another term of Kasongo. I am drained mentally, physically, emotionally, because every day just goes to prove that we made the wrong choice at the ballot. And democracy is a two-edged sword. And democracy gives you the freedom to either make bad choices or make good choices. And to be honest, we made a bad choice in 2022. In fact, the rain started beating us in 2013 when this duo of Uhuru and Kasongo were voted in. ICC suspects, people whose marriage was out of convenience and not love or democracy. They were looking for survival. And they came from the 2 communities that have the most numbers. And we all know our elections are tribal, and winning an election is about numbers, not emotions, but numbers and money. And the 2 equally had the amount of money needed, and they had the numbers. So our mistake started in 2013. However, we were warned. We were warned on several occasions, but we labeled this man a drunkard and a drug addict. On the other hand, the person we were being warned about started spewing a narrative, started spinning a narrative that is a hustler, that is the son of a peasant. Does it mean when a peasant wants to become president, it's a bad thing? He whipped emotions, and he did it very well. That one I will not lie to you. Despite the warnings, we did not hear them. And look now, the truth has come out clear as day. Now look at this. This is State House largesse. What can compound or confirm this amount of money being spent every day if it is just not wastage or bribery? What is State House inventing? What is State House manufacturing? What employees does State House have to warrant such wastage? Even a blue chip company like Safaricom, EABL, do not have a daily expenditure like this. They do not. And good people understand this. You see, this money that he's always dishing out in churches, he's rewarding people, buying loyalty, spending here. It is this money. It is this money. This is the money he is using. Or he goes to launch something, like the other time he was at the golf place, he gave 5 million. It's this money. He goes to a church, he gives 20 million. It's this money. It's not other money. Don't think that he's removing it from his own pocket. There's nobody philanthropic to that point. We have many billionaires in this country, the likes of Kina Chandaria, but they don't give out money like that aimlessly. Every weekend or every day you're spending such an amount. No, it's only money that has been stolen. Money that does not belong to you that can be used like that. People are starving. Families cannot even afford 3 meals in a day. Families are counting coins to look for bus fare. Many families have changed their lifestyles. They have downgraded because of the tight situation of the economy. And they keep telling us we need to tighten our belts, austerity measures. But what are they doing? They are regurgitating after eating on our feet, surely. Classrooms are dilapidated. Children are out of school. Textbooks are not there. There's no food in school. Hospitals are understaffed, ill-equipped. But State House can use this money. This is largesse. This is basically being profligate. We are wasting. And like I always say, other than corruption, another problem of ours is wanton wastage. We do not know how to prioritize money. We sink money in unnecessary and valuable things that do not add any positive impact on the economy. And that's the sad reality. Now, if Parliament was independent, as they say, they would have curbed this. They would have nipped this at the bud, because they have the constitutional authority to oversight the executive. But that's not happening. This 13th Parliament has become an appendage of the executive. They are no longer sovereign as stated in the Constitution. They have been usurped, absorbed by the executive. So now they have become marionettes. And the executive is the puppeteer. Because they only have 3 roles: representation, legislation, and oversight. Why can't they oversight this? Why can't they tell the exchequer no? The country is under, the economy is not performing. We need to all tighten our belts. Tighten our belts should not only be for us, the public. It should start from leadership. But you can't be wasting money here, and on the other hand, you're telling us that brace yourself for tough times. You're the one who's bringing those tough times. You're the one who's bringing those tough times. And even if we have those tough times, you're the one who's making them even worse. There's something called fiscal discipline. But like I say, this 13th Parliament is the worst ever. And as much as we make noise that Ruto must go, that 2027 we are voting him out, we need to be clear and conscious on the next people we elect as our members of Parliament. Parliament is strategic and plays an important role. They should be subservient to us, domiciled in Parliament, and not to the executive. So people, look out for the members of Parliament you will elect, not only the president. Look at your MP. You see, what we are having now is because Parliament imelala. They cannot oversight the executive. They are the ones being summoned to State House. They are the ones who are supposed to summon the president to Parliament, put him down and question him, call in his cabinet ministers, tell us this and that and that. But he should be brought before Parliament and told, why are you people giving State House this money? And the law allows them to do that without fear or favor. So people, next time 2027, be careful on the kind of member of parliament you vote. Do not vote sycophants. Do not vote on tribal lines. Do not vote on party lines. Look at somebody who can stand up for you, fight for you, talk for you, and work for you, because that's their work. We cannot all represent ourselves in parliament. That is why we pick people to articulate what we want, and that should count people. As much as it is must go, we must vote good parliamentarians, because without having oversight, this is what happens. The executive acts freely, how they want, what they want, when they want, and how they want, which should not be the case. 80% of Kenyans are suffering. It's only a certain percentage who are enjoying this economy, and those are the thieves and their families and their cronies. But majority of Kenyans are suffering. And then you look at the headlines, you see something like this. It's quite perturbing, quite unfortunate.
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda, so kanapenda toto chupa na haga nono.
Madam na kudai, umedunga mini na unapenda mangwai. Una dance fit, unawacha nikismile. Ama niko high, you are live, nice.
Kono moja mbele, gine yende rembe. Pile up, yoni